my wife wanted me to record.
Yep, we're streaming live to YouTube every Sunday morning.
Good deal.
I'm on the screen, am I?
Oh, a little bit. It doesn't matter though.
Good job, puppy.
I could adjust the camera if you don't want to be.
That's okay.
You have a coaster? I'll steal this one.
I did the posters.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the glass. The glass will work. Won't do the.
There we go.
So is there bring food in here?
Sure.
Thank you.
Put it on you.
I did.
Shouldn't have left. That's it.
Love it.
For now.
Did it once.
Yeah, I got that.
I will get this.
Chairs.
Yes.
Yeah, good job, Bob. You figured it out perfect. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay.
Perfect job, Bob.
Bobby, are you in charge of, where's Bobby at? You in charge of this, Bob?
Is the
Is it
switch
not
on?
working?
Is the on switch on?
Yeah, it is.
It should work.
I don't know.
the answer is yes.
Tone, you coming up?
Not right now. Let's just shutting something down.
Alright. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning. Wow. I gave-
Morning.
We had coffee this morning. Thanks for making the trek, and I know some of yous came, good difference, yes, right? How, you came from where? Queens? Queens, New York. Queens also, right? It says something about your commitment. Yeah, we were doing a little traveling this week. We were in Texas, and we were down at our shore house, and I had to fly back from Texas to watch my wife come off the beach on a Friday at the end of the week, and I said it's not going to happen again, you know, and so I wrote this down. Good morning, I just left the beach yesterday, and I didn't want to leave, because as we were packing our truck up yesterday morning, I was watching everybody walking towards the beach with a smile on their face and not a worry in the world, and I said, that could be us, right? I believe we have the vehicle to get us to that point. Matter of fact, I don't believe, I know we have the vehicle that no other job or owning a company or can bring to us, and that's freedom. That's why I'm in this business. That's why my wife's in this business, because we're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. So how do we get to that point? And we're going to go over that this morning. We're going to go over some things we need to do to get honed in our skills to grow a big business. And I'm watching a lot of people that came into this business and have been in it for a year, 2 years, never made huge progress, but now all of a sudden they made a shift. I don't know if it's their appetite for hunger, they got more hungry. I don't know if their skill set shifted where they said, I can't fake through this any longer. It's not going to fall out of the sky. But each and every one of us have the ability to be successful in this business. Don't matter what your race, what your gender, what your religion, none of that matters here. It's a level playing field. So we have a great opportunity, and going to Texas And meeting the people down there, I'm just starting to realize now how big this opportunity is gonna be. Because normally we look around in our backyard and think we went to about 20 people, or Jim, my buddy Jim looks around South Amboy and he says, you know, I asked about 10 or 20 people already and I don't know if this is gonna work. Folks, when you understand the magnitude of what we're talking about, it's so much bigger than that. And I'm hoping we can get through, because there's a lot of people in this room, Kevin Verdon, one of them, Tony Fernicola, another, that are two guys that are ready to break through in a big way. Like I don't know if they know the magnitude yet, but they're doing the same things that my wife and I did and Tony DePaula did a year and a half ago, and their businesses are going to start exploding. So what do we need to do getting started first?
Yeah, these are some technical things that as you bring your people in, and I don't know where everybody is because I don't know everybody. Like, how long you been in?
A week,
Okay, and who's your sponsor?
my daughter,
Okay,
basically.
so you're basically responsible for this.
Okay.
Okay, this is your responsibility because you know it's not covered in training, but this is very important. As soon as they get certified, we go through this. They're provided with a call sheet, all the upline numbers. So there's some confidence, and you know, get them right on the text messages. Get them registered in their sunroom, which a lot of people aren't doing, so they can see their solar and make referrals. If they have a tablet, Viridian Toolkit 2.0 that's available to you, get on our Facebook Viridian team, invite them on through your sponsor, and show them a little bit that, you know, where to find things in the back office. If you don't know, go to your sponsor and make sure you set up their banking. Okay, and I found a little thing that's very helpful now that a lot of people are doing long distance signups, is when you go into your back office, go into profile, my profile, and go to the personal website, you can add a picture, and you should add a picture or something, yes, because, yeah, if you don't, all the websites look the same, and people actually will register under Viridian.com under corporate for some reason, and then 72 hours have to pass before you can get.
Tom, was that a sneeze or a cough? Because I don't know whether to say God bless you or I didn't. That was like in between. God bless you.
And recognize the importance. I know it's a pain in the neck. It takes 40 minutes. When people come in, okay, people are naturally lazy of getting certified because that's the only way other people can come into the business. Even if they're in Texas, right? Unless they're doing paper applications. But you got to get certified right away. Go ahead, Kev.
That is very, very important. After being 2 years into the business, Tony is my upline. I met somebody when I was in Bermuda, and what Tony did for them is fabulous. And after 2 years, I'm finally learning that this is what you need to do. And I'm being honest with you guys. If you really want to grow your business, now mine's starting to really explode because of Tony. You know, I really appreciate what he did. And these people it's going to be the third home meeting on Monday.
And they're duplicating what I'm doing to them.
Exactly what
Right.
Tony told them
Right.
to do, and we impressed upon them to do that. And it's very important, guys, because I see it now. I should have seen this 2 years ago, but I didn't. So
What the
anybody that's
duplication
new, you should just listen to Tony, listen to John, follow that process, because you'll build your business faster than I built mine. And it's just amazing what Tony did for these people. I mean, they put in, this week it'll be 80 people that they had in 3 weeks showing the plans to them. You know, and it's all because of what Tony helped them do.
Jess, you met them up in Brooklyn. They're the
Married?
Margaret,
and Jake.
the blonde hair lady in front of. She's one of the top
Yeah,
real estate
Yeah.
agents in the Hamptons.
yeah.
And they're just
That
on
was
fire.
fun,
I've never
wow.
seen somebody, you know, like they say, you just keep flipping them cards. And
Yeah.
I happened to meet them walking through, you know, that time. You know,
Yeah.
just spoke to them. And
That's,
they're really, you know, you do find that ace.
Now, one of the things that
Yeah,
are
yeah.
facilitating that, I think everyone, if you don't know it, you should copy it down, whether you're 20, 40, 50, 60, or 70 years old.
yeah,
We're in an age where things can be done a lot easier. Join.me, it's a free screen sharing site. So I can be on the phone with, not even a phone, I can speak to them through my computer. I can do this training at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Hamptons with somebody,
right.
or in California, or in Texas. And I can show them my back office instead of just talking to them, well, go here, go here. I can show them, I can bring their back office in, I can show them how to become their own first customer. So I know we don't like learning new skills, but I learned this from the Kenny brothers. They do webinars like this. They have business from, you know, from Boston to Washington DC, out to Chicago, and they leverage the technology, which is important. As your business gets bigger, you know, that's one way to keep everybody, you know, close. So that's the goal, is to build that bond, and it's a good
He
technique.
did do that for 3 hours. He did a 3-hour training with them in Brooklyn. This is the way.
It's a
he
lot
does it.
easier than driving 2 hours out there,
Yeah.
and doing 3 hours and driving 2 hours back.
Yeah.
You can do it in your pajamas too, which is
Right,
good.
right, exactly.
It's key, right? 2 questions everybody asks themselves when they come into business. Is it worth it? Can I do it? The key is to get people started quickly. Anybody that tells you, you know, I'll sign up, but I'm not going to get it, I'm busy for the next 3 weeks, 99% of those people are gone. This is about people reacting upon impulse and success. Impulse and success. If we don't show people to get that ping and they're on their phone, you just received payment, you just received payment, the birds are going to get them. They're going to be gone. They're not going to answer your phone calls in 2 to 3 weeks. They're going to go to a witness protection program, and what they call in this industry, the birds will get them. It's your job as a leader, as an associate, to hold their hands like a newborn baby. If you let them go and you tell them, hey, go do this, go get 20 meters, go get 4, and you're not having that continuity with them, exposing them to meetings and webinars and trainings and Monday night power calls, they're not going to know what they're missing. It's up to you to show them what they're not going to miss. If you get what I'm saying, right? It's about showing the culture, because people sign up, they're in Veridian, but they don't have Veridian in them yet. Once they get Veridian in them, they're going nowhere but up. Depends on how much action, like Kevin said. When you get it in you and you finally realize of seeing so many people walking around with a smile on their face, coming off the golf course, coming off the beach, knowing they're on their way to complete freedom and family security, what's not to love about that? Really, what's not to love about it? But it takes you to get these people immersed. And you know what? It's a numbers game. If you go through those steps and they're not immersed, leave the porch light on for them. Maybe something will click in their head. Maybe somebody will piss them off at work where they say, I need something else. This is a plan B that'll turn into a plan A, but you need to show them quick success. If you don't show them something early, they don't feel something early, it's not worth it to them. It's not worth their sacrifice of time.
So most people who are successful are all have goals, right? So this is good to provide in that fast start training as well. The successful people will ask you, what do I have to do to get where? And then a career path is something that the successful people love. You know, they say, well, what steps do I have to get and take to get where? So provide them with goal-orientated tools. They take to it. If they're successful, they're gonna say, okay, they'll write it on their calendar when they gotta get what by what.
Yeah.
So provide that. Solar leads is the same way, okay? And everybody should know that if you get 10 plus solar leads that lead to a proposal, that'll be $30 a lead. And even if you only get 5, they're gonna give you some money. They're gonna give you $50 if you get 5 proposals, which, you know, is reasonable when you get started. And it's nice to see that money come in, and it also gets kicked up to the upline. And as you can see, if this ends this week, the double contracts, that this won't exist in August, but if you have any proposals in the month, you know, and they say they don't sign a solar contract until November, it's still gonna get kicked back to this, this month, and it'll still be double. It'll be retroactive until the month the proposal or the lead was submitted.
And you know, when you're talking about solar, we see them going up more and more. They're going, it's becoming, people are starting to get more in tune and more educated. just visualize where this is gonna be at 5 years from now. And just visualize when you go through your neighborhoods or your cousin's neighborhood or your friend's neighborhood, when you start seeing another company come in putting those solars up on those houses and you didn't take the initiative to open up a door in that neighborhood, you're gonna kick yourself in the rear, because once you get those customers, they're customers for life. They're customers for life. The last thing you want to see is a whole neighborhood with some guy that just had the wherewithal or the brass balls to go and say, I want this whole neighborhood. Now they're a customer for life. You don't want to, when you have inns somewhere, what I'm trying to say is you want to take the approach now, because once you get a couple, it's going to be a domino effect. That one is going to lead you to 10 more. That other one's going to lead you to 10 more. And it's going to happen with or without us. It's a trend. It's not a fad. It's a trend that's undeniable. We need to capitalize on it. We need to be aggressive. And if somebody tells you no, I'm sure when they see their neighbors getting on, they'll come back to you, whether it's a month or 6 months down the road. Oh, wait a minute, I can save money? It's not going to cost me a penny. I can lock in my utility rates for 20 years. I'm helping the environment, the future of my children, my neighbor's children. Oh, but I don't like the way it looks. I think those good are going to outweigh the one bad that people push back on. I really do. Yeah, Kevin.
You know, with the solar guys, you learn more. I learn more every day. I read in my back office. But as being an associate, you want to know what your best market is for solar. Never mind if you go to Brooklyn and Staten Island now, they get a tax credit of $5,000.
State of New York.
The state of New York will give them that. So now you're giving them a free solar system. They're going to save money, and plus they're going to get a $5,000 tax credit. You don't have that in New Jersey. You don't have that in a lot of states. So it's very important, like me with a landscape business, I'll go to a new
Right.
development and I'll give the first guy a good price and I'll get him. But look in that solar leads and see in the markets and see where your best market is and look at your list. You could find somebody or a friend or somebody, get it on the house, let them get that it's free $5,000 tax credit.
Yeah.
Besides getting free solar and saving money.
Yeah.
That's how you're gonna build your solar business.
Yeah.
That's the future, is your solar.
Yeah.
Because the freedom, 3 years, you're done. If they
Yeah.
can, with the solar, they
Right.
can transfer it over to other people if they move it. So if it's your customer for 20 years, I think that is the best market we have.
Yeah.
John didn't have that when he first started. None of the big guys had it. They only had 2 markets. So when people tell me that, oh, I can't build my business, rates are too high. Well, you had people in this company that are at the highest levels. They only had two markets. Correct, John? They didn't have all the stuff we have now.
Right.
So it's
And now we'll talk about that, but the market conditions right now for JCP&L,
Yeah.
I mean, we should be able to sign up hundreds of customers because everything's in the favor. Like Tony was talking about the mentor bonuses. As you start working this and getting wide, everything starts flowing up to you. The more people you teach to get what they want, the quicker it comes up to you, right? And the money just starts trickling up when you get people to get leads and then contracts closed out. I don't even know where the money comes from. I just know we get pinged with a lot of emails, same thing with the contracts. It's the same thing with the leads and the contracts, right? It goes up line, mentors. It's about us being educated and then building leaders, right? That are going to do it themselves. It's a great feeling when you build a person like Tony DePaula, who's a retired state trooper that was so skeptical. And he kept poking holes and he kept looking at this because that was his nature for 27 years. And now he gets it. He got it right away. Now he took a leadership role. He's one of the best in the company. And he'll be an ambassador in this company. Where a lot of other cops are, and Jimmy got out of his comfort zone too.
Yeah, big time.
No?
Yeah, we'll get to Jimmy in a second. This is what John was talking about. These are the statistics that Veridian's provided about people getting off to a fast start. And I think one of the most important stats is the last one. It's 85% of all new associates that get 2 customers in their first 2 weeks continue to be in the business after a year. So the thing that Jim Rohn says you don't want to take a lesson on is why people come into the business and throw up a goose egg. And if you spend the next month trying to convince them to do that, you're wasting your time. It just happens. They come in, they do nothing. There's nothing you can do about it. Move on, get over it, still send them the Christmas card, say hello to them. they're gonna come in droves and do nothing. That's not our job to convince them. They're adults, they signed up. If they don't wanna do it, they're not gonna do it. Don't spend your time convincing them. Yeah, you have to do that fast start training with them, giving everything they need to get started. But beyond that, that's all you can do. Just keep moving on. I know it sounds cold, but it is the cold hard facts. If you want to win in the business, you have to just keep bringing people in. It's a volunteer army. You can't whip them, and someone will get it. Believe me. It may take you, you could get lucky the first 2 times, or you may have to show that you get 7 associates before one starts to build for you. So that's what's important, though, to realize and instill in the new associate that getting off to a fast start is very important. And there's the statistics that back that up. Define your why, define your purpose. If everything starts with why in this business, and I know without ever getting personal with Jim, I know his why has to be pretty good because he's still fighting at this business. His uplines have basically quit, right?
Yeah.
And Saturday, you show him the plan twice on a beautiful day with, a beautiful family and kids and a pool and all that. There's a lot of other things you could have been doing, I know that. And you have a beautiful lawn, you probably would want to take care of that lawn. But I know your why has to be pretty good. And that's what's going to get you through those beautiful summer days where you can actually take the time out and show the plan and be a machine like that. And this is what I'm starting to learn personally right now, is people don't buy what I do, they're going to buy why I do it. So people are going to be attracted to me because of my enthusiasm, my new lifestyle. They're not going to be attracted to me because Tony's in the green energy business. He knows a lot about renewable energy. That's not attractive to people. What's the only thing that's going to be attractive to people is my enthusiasm and my lifestyle. Not my posts on Facebook about how many windmills that are being installed. It's the posts on Facebook, wow, where's Tony now? Geez, why is he in Cincinnati? Why is he here? Why is he in Long Island? Why is he, what? That is what's attractive. And why do we do it, right? We do it for freedom. That's the whole thing here, right? Freedom, to get away from what we've always been taught. That's what's attractive. And that's why we do it. So it's important to know that people will be attracted to us because of why we're doing what we're doing, not what we're doing.
And the key is too about your excitement. People want to know why you're excited. When we say, be the person on fire, first you get around the heat. When you keep getting around the heat like Kevin got around the Bob Quintanas and the Joe O's and the Frank Marones and the Tony DePauls and the John Lellos, now Kevin is now being the heat, right? He got around the heat, he's learned it, and it's a learning process. And if you don't immerse yourself to get around the heat, you'll never be the heat. And when you become the person on fire, people are not going to run away from you. They're going to run towards you. They want to know why you're smiling, why you're happy, why you're around a bunch of people. They're going to want to know why. You're going to be drawing people towards you, not away from you.
And this really is up to you, but everyone's going to support you. And there's a lot of stories. A lot of people are emerging that came in 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to me. It's going to happen to every one of you if you just stick to it. And we all got to change our mindsets. What's happening? Commitment and goals. Success is based on your goal setting. Every successful person has really that thing in common. They have goals. And this is that career path that has to be near and dear to you because you have to know where you are, okay, where you want to be, and what you have to do to get to the next step. And the way I look at this, and the way really Anthony Serino, who's not even in our line, taught me this, is that your goal should be 2 steps ahead. Building 2 steps ahead. So say if you're a lead consultant now, that's you, right, Jim?
Yeah.
You shouldn't look at senior consultant. You should look at director. What I have to do to become a director, okay? Because if you do that, you will build the correct way, okay?
Right.
You really will build the correct way. If you're a director like Kevin, Kevin, I know you're nipping on lead director, but you really have to look what you structurally, and you got it this morning, you said Todd has to become a director. What do you have to do? Because that's the step you want to get to, senior director. You want to have that in place, that structure in place, and flesh out the meters with that. But building a strong structure will, build a very sustainable business. So that's a little tip. Always work 2 ahead on the career.
And we're talking about, when Tony talks about set goals and make commitments, it all comes, and we're gonna talk about it in a little bit, following up that list, right? Because if you don't have a plan, I say this, we all dream, right? Every one of us in here dream. Daydream, think about something, lottery, right? Beaches, vacations. If you start dreaming, but then wake up in the morning with a purpose and a plan, nothing can stop you from being successful in this business. The problem is, too many people dream and they wake up in the morning and get caught up in everyday life and they don't have any purpose of what they're doing or any intent. My wife says it's all about intent. When you intend to do something, guess what? You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
So
Simple
let's
as that.
figure out where, okay.
John, like you, myself, and Tony with his t-shirt business, we have a traditional business. I worked hard at my traditional business to get it where it was. Sure, do I have freedom? Yeah, I have freedom only when I don't work and I close down, I don't make any money. But we did very well, John's done very well. But my mind shifted to where I built this business for 33 years, and I go out and I build my business. But it cost me a lot of money to start that business. And I have a lot of employees and deal with a lot of aggravation. So I shift my mind into where I treat it as if I'm going out to do an estimate when I talk to somebody. And believe me, like John spoke about before, when I go on an estimate, I give people a price. And I call them back the next day and they don't answer me or they don't call me back, they don't want me. They're not going to use me. So it's the same thing with an associate. When you get an associate and he does what he wants to do and they call you back, 3, 4 times. I'm not going to call a customer back 3 times and they don't get back to me. Obviously you don't want to use me. Maybe it'll be a month, maybe they got tied up, but it's the same thing I'm doing with my customers and also with my associates. I'm treating it as if I built a fabulous business. I could build this business the same way with no headaches. And it's the same concept. If I call you and you don't call me back, I don't want to bother with you. I don't want to bother with that.
And the only
I had a lot of donuts, guys, and it's very frustrating. It is very, very frustrating. I signed up 9 in 1 week, and 7 of them didn't even put their own meter in yet. But they don't know how to put it in. You show them, they're too lazy. Here, Kevin, give it to me, and I give it to Tony because that's his job with me. But, it's just treat it like it's a business.
Yeah.
Same thing,
All right, so what you gotta do, as the associates, figure out where you wanna be on the chart, and if you look at the OCC, which is the organizational customer count, and you go down, and that's about the average income that you could expect from those ranks. So, as a senior director, it's about $1,000 a month. Where do you wanna be? What do you wanna, what would make your life, a click easier? Is it getting the car payment on autopilot? Is that gonna relieve a lot of stress in your life? If that is so, great, then circle lead director and circle it and say, I want to be a lead director in 6 months, or I want to be something reasonable, lead director in 1 year, and live to it. Write the date down and say, live to it. I'm going to be a lead director, okay, on Labor Day 2016, if it's a year away, something like that, and work at it and know what we got to do. Now, you got to learn to dream big in this thing because there's a lot of people making a lot of money here, and they're no better than you. They're no smarter than you. They just followed a plan and had a real deep understanding of what their why and their purpose was and what they wanted. And this is real, folks. This is $35,000 a month, $60,000, $100,000, $200,000 a month, $4 or $5 grand a month with an Audi. You got to be kidding me if you don't think that's going to take a lot of stress out of your life. But circle that, make it reasonable. And understand that there's a lot of work that has to be done to get there, and that's what John is going to talk about right now, the work. And that's what consultant looks like, that's what directors look like, but that's technical stuff. But this is an action step that we
Kevin,
can.
can I see that book, please? Thank you, brother. Folks, this here is something I overlooked for the first. I got to where I'm at, my wife and I, by accident. Hard work. But we could have been a lot further ahead if we would have really followed what we're being taught. And here's all this business is about. Following a system, right? It's all about following a system. It's all about one word, duplication, right? Because the bigger your business grows, when you teach more people how to keep it simple and duplicate, people like Tony and Kevin and Tony Fernicola and so many more, my people out in Texas and Cincinnati and Boston and Philadelphia and Washington, they're all doing the same thing I'm doing because they followed direction. They understood about duplication. This is how you make millions of dollars in this business. Number one, you gotta have the belief. If you don't have belief that green energy is the future, and what our company is doing is the future, you're never gonna take massive action. Let's face facts. When you love going fishing, right? And there's people in our business, Tony's brother-in-law Artie, there's nothing that could keep him off his boat, right or wrong, Tom?
Correct.
If he had the same mindset about fishing as he does at Viridian, and that's what this is about, folks. If you love golfing, whatever your hobbies are, right? You don't get paid for fishing or golfing or playing tennis or going down to the beach. But if you shift your mind to implement it into this system, it'll bring you all of that every day of the week for the rest of your life. No matter where you want to go, no matter how much it costs, this is what this is about. It's about a 4-year plan. It's about visualizing yourself. Kevin's son-in-law is one of the best players in Major League Baseball. Home run derby champion. He's a Viridian associate. He visualized everything that's happened to him right now years ago as a kid. Right, Kevin? He told us?
Yeah.
If you do not visualize being an ambassador, guess what? You're never going to be an ambassador. If you don't envision yourself deserving the freedom that this opportunity can bring to you, it's never going to happen for you. If you don't start posturing, coming to meetings with a sports jacket on, because I never did, until Bob Quintana, a guy that was Tony Robbins' business partner, said to me, John, you think people are going to follow you in ripped jeans and sneakers? Yeah, you're a credible guy. He said, John, posture like an ambassador and you'll be an ambassador. I went out the next day and bought 3 suits and 2 sports jackets. And your list, right? We talked about it. This is going to make you millions of dollars. All the business cards that people, Jim, every time you give somebody a ticket or let them off of a speeding ticket, get their contact
He's doing
information.
that pretty good now, yeah.
That's so smart.
Guys, this is all about bonding with people. I meet people and people say, I don't have nobody else on my list. BS. We can meet 10 new people every day. Even Tony Fernicola can meet people. Yeah, honey, come on.
There's something very, very different about this business, and here's where the magic happens. We're not selling anything. What we're doing is offering a gift to people by way of them being a customer or an associate. And I want to make an example, kind of fits in my head, I hope it fits in yours. I met a friend in Viridian, and just a lovely person. And when you like somebody, you give them something, right? So she gave me a gift one day. Literally gave me, with no strings attached, it was some homemade soap, and I loved it. So this soap can't be bought on a market someplace, it's homemade, it has to be bought by someone else. I became a customer of her friend who made the soap. Because it came with no tangles to it, and because it was a gift, that's kind of where the magic happens. My friend had no connection in the outcome of me loving this soap. It wasn't a sample, it was truly a gift. You have to put in your mind, this is a gift. Because honestly, that's all it is. You're not selling anything. You're not attached to the outcome. If they take it as a gift, fine. You're not giving them a sample. But if they accept it, you're not getting that rejected feeling, right? And that's where the magic happens, in the giving. So I just wanted to make that correlation because I think it fits really well with what we do here. It's a gift.
Well, you know what? And what Lola says, think about it. a lot of times we come into business, am I right or wrong, Jim, and think, oh, I'm gonna be bothering somebody, I'm gonna worry about what this person thinks of me, right?
Yeah.
We care how much people think what we are. Come on. Come on. Do those people care about, are they helping you pay your mortgage? Are they helping you put your kids through college? Like my wife said, this is a gift. When you shift your mind and realize that you're going to be putting people around your kitchen table and your living room like we're doing, and you know what? Whoever shows up, if they accept it as a gift, fine. But it all comes back to this. The bigger the list, the bigger the dreams, and the bigger the rewards. The people that are blowing this industry up, and I'm talking about friends of mine that have made $18 million, regular people, are the ones just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they contact everybody through social media, through people they went to high school with, through everything, right? And they keep putting people around their kitchen table, around their pool house, like Kevin's gonna start doing. That's all this is about.
Hey, John, what really opened my eyes, and let me add real stuff. John and Lela are savants in this business, as is Anthony Serino. They're two outliers, okay? Nobody did what they're doing as quickly in any network marketing. But people can do it. There's, most people that like we were going to Mastermind, and it takes them 3 years to figure this industry out. Whether you're a Bob Quintana, Joe Wood, there's always a backstory. And it takes them some time to figure this out. And then once they hit, they go. But what John and Lela did is the same thing that Joe Occhiogrosso did and Frank Barone did, which we're starting to teach. I never did it. It makes so much sense. How did you start your business day 1, week 1, week 2, week 3?
Just started inviting people to our house.
To your house, a house meeting.
House parties. Around our, right, our first one around our kitchen table, the next one around our living room, and just kept inviting people because people feel comfortable when they come to your house.
I think personally that is the key to the business, because I felt bad by teaching Margaret and Jake to do this, and I never did it, but I knew John and Joe did it. They showed the opportunity. This is as of last week, 40 times.
In 3
They
weeks.
only showed the video 3 times.
Right.
3 times. Twice on one night. They had a party, and they had an early showing and like
Yeah.
one hour later.
Yeah.
But 40 times because it's a numbers game. If they worked 40 days in a row, it would take them past Labor Day to get this video, that many people to see it. But what you're doing, in addition to that, you're showing a group of people, you're creating a culture in your own house. And as those people come in, they start to, now the following week, the new associate's gonna bring 7 people in. You're creating a culture, which is what Lela's talking about. And that's, go ahead, Mary.
How do you deal with that one skeptic in the group then?
It don't matter, man.
You bring me and I shut him up.
And Tony did do that last week.
I do it very empathetically.
Yeah, Tony, yes, Kevin.
You know what, guys? 2 years into the business, all my 78 associates, I have only one girl, Barbara, Jackie Barber, who did a whole meeting with 12 people. And these people, that has now going to be 80 people. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
2 years, how many women get frustrated,
Yeah.
telling the people what to do, have home meetings,
Right.
and then you get one guy,
Right.
and he gives you new blood again. It gives you
Yeah.
that drive to go.
You know, it's like Kevin, it's like going on a golf course and being a horrible golfer. Hitting that one shot is gonna bring you back the next day.
Yeah, that's the amazing part, Tony.
So
You
if
know?
John and Lela said that they did it all wrong, but they killed it, they did something that is the most important thing. They did what Joe did. They put people in their house.
Yeah.
That is the secret, I think.
Well, you know what it does? It gets you very quickly to
Yeah.
overcome your fear.
You know why?
I didn't have no fear, John, but it was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you something, guys. In the last 2 weeks, I put more miles on my car going to meetings, supporting them, going to Brooklyn, going to Long Island, going to Long Island. I would never do that. Are you out of your mind, Kevin? Get in the car? I don't need this, to hell with them. But the magic's starting to happen.
Right.
And as being a smart person, you say, you know what? I'm doing a little bit more, and I'm getting a lot more.
And the momentum.
And it's starting to work.
Let me just
Now
talk about the numbers.
I can handle 20 more no's. I can handle 20 more dollars, because I know
It's all right.
after 2 years, I found the
Well,
ace.
here's what I say to people, and a good question. What do you do about the skeptics? See, skeptics, here's what they are. They're dream stealers. They want people to stay in their little boat and be as miserable as they are at their everyday lives. You gotta realize that we talked about earlier in front of my son Nicholas and cousin Bobby. We talked about outside. You're gonna have people that you think are your friends. They're not. Newsflash, they're not your friends. When you go to somebody and say, hey, I need your help, I'm gonna save you money, we're gonna help the environment, and more importantly, you'll be helping me to start, and you get a no?
No.
Newsflash, they are not your friends.
You're talking about customers.
Well, I'm talking about any, Tony, people that are not willing to help you in any regard. My friends and people that know me, if you call me at 1 o'clock in the morning and need help, I'm there for you. That's what a friend is.
And you know what, John? It's great to have a skeptic in the room. It's great to have a skeptic.
Oh.
When you have somebody like Tony or like Big John, because you're answering all the questions that the other people are afraid to answer.
Yeah.
The skeptic, let him be the skeptic. Hey, listen,
Yeah,
if it's not
so
for you,
Mary, I forgot your name.
Jesse.
Jesse. You're gonna have skeptics, but have a support mechanism, because that's a good question. Ask Kevin, ask Mario. That's what it's all, that's third-party verification. So if you do have a home meeting, and really, I'm the biggest proponent of that right now. Vin Lamanti has been talking about that for years, and I wish I could start over and do it again. I'll probably do it. I gotta do it. But bring somebody that has some rhino skin with them. Not that there's gonna ever be an argument, Mary, don't get scared, we're not gonna throw shit at them. Is we have all this ancillary knowledge and we've heard all the objections, and we have facts, and we have empathy. Yeah, Viridian did screw up in the polar vortex, absolutely.
Yeah,
But you know what they did when other companies went out of business? They developed this thing called freedom. And we can talk very logically and fact-based about any objections they may have.
And you know what Tony says, Mayor? It's about credibility and about valid. It's not about me going and saying to somebody, oh, shut your mouth, don't speak out of turn after me, this is a great. It's all about what Tony used, the same thing. Feel, felt, found. I get down to their level for a second, and I pat him on the back, and then I hit him with a jab right in the face, and he don't even know it. Because I used the feel, felt, found. I know exactly. If you're a person that's giving me opposition, Mary, I know exactly how you feel, because I felt the same way. But let me show you what I found out. Let me give you the facts to show you how I made a shift and basically retired in 4 years, had no job or business to do. We're in business with Elon Musk, Mary. Do you know who he is? PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX. The #1 businessman in the year, 40 years old, Mary. He's on the cover of Fortune magazine. See, I start giving facts. I give him, like Tony said, I give him a little empathy. I do this, and then I boom, punch him right in the face in an indirect way.
Tony we did a third party with Kashif in Cincinnati with a lawyer. Oh my God, this is great. I mean, the guy wouldn't even get on the phone. And Kashif, I said, listen, put the guy on the phone.
And Kashif is a young kid.
Young kid.
He's 25 years old, and he's probably saying, I can run circles, I'm gonna abuse this guy, this is, whatever it is.
Right.
And he wasn't being very coachable, right? The lawyer guy.
Yeah, it was like that. And I said, listen, you took 13 minutes of this guy's time to show you something, and now you won't even, I said, Kashif, get him on the phone. Tell him I want to talk to him.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer, oh, I can find it. And I said, Tony, here. Tony spoke to him, and Tony was on the phone 25 minutes with him.
Right.
Answered every question he
Yeah.
wanted. I mean, it's just amazing that it's great to have somebody that has negativity, because once you change the focus of their mind and you answer all their questions, like me and John and Tony go to somebody's house and they ask you a question, you go, listen, you're done.
But yeah, and the best part about it though, is not that person's a skeptic, and you don't want it in your business anyway,
Right.
but you now have the confidence that, hey, wow, I feel good because, I'm 50-50 on this proposition anyway. I hope it works, but that skeptic, I have those questions. And then when you see that they're answered in a very professional, empathetic way, you now have confidence. You now have, so that's the important
I'm
part.
sure the next lawyer, Kashif gets, he'll put it on third party, Tony.
So it's about the list, guys, right? What do you know? Don't trust me, the magic happens when you put it and keep this book with you every day. Yep. This is your living document, you add to it every day, you'll be shocked that one person that you touch base with, you only need 3 people basically. 3 people in any line, so if you go 30 wide, 3 people that jump out will change your life forever. It's not, you don't need a bunch of superstars, you need 3 people like Tony DePaul that get this. That's what you need in 3 different lines, and you're free for the rest of your life. Your kids are free for the rest of their life. The rock stars in your life, everybody else who may be looking, customers only, right? There's 3 parts of that list.
4. Andre introduced a
Okay,
very good
distance.
thing.
Alright, so the A part of your list are the people you want to get to right away because you know if somebody else gets to them, the last thing you want is to watch somebody else that would have been on your list to come walking into a meeting with 100 people a month later. Right? Hello?
Sorry.
No, that's alright.
There's a chair right there.
Tony, you want to take this over? I just gotta...
You got more coffee, please?
No, I have to go to the bathroom.
Alright, D is for distance.
Come up here, Tom, because you're on video. Please.
D is for distance.
I know you're dressed like that.
D is for distance, which is important because people think, well, who do I know? And say, well, I know Joe Blow in Manalapan, this guy in Freehold, that guy in Marlboro, but wherever you live. But when you say distance, now jog their memory. Who do you know in Texas, Massachusetts? Who do you know in California? Who do you know in Ohio? Who do you know in Illinois? And they say, oh, wait a second, my brother's best friend just moved out to, Cincinnati, Ohio. And that's how you would jog your memory and get to at least 150. It sounds like an awful lot, but it's a start. 150 is a start. That's what you have to start from. And we're not going to play the video, but in the Robert Kiyosaki, a small snippet, he says there are 4 types of people that you will deal with. Everybody is one of these types. There's those that always need to be right. And that's the person that'll show up to the meeting and say, and give you hell, right? But he'll give you hell, because he always needs to be right. And then there's the second subset, people that just want to be comfortable. They don't care if their roof is caving in, if they're going bankrupt. It doesn't matter. They just want to be left alone and comfortable, and they exist, and they won't be any good at this business. That don't even bother with them because you're just going to make them uncomfortable. Then 3 is those that just want to be liked. Yeah, sure, I'll sign up, and yeah, sure. And they don't want to rock anybody's boat. They just want to be liked. They want to be comfortable. They don't want to disturb anything. They just want to be, oh, isn't Tony a nice guy? Isn't Tony a nice guy? And 4 are the killers. Those are the people we're looking for. The people that win, the people that are goal-orientated. Everything they do, they got an edge to them. That's what we're looking for. Number 4, the winners. Now, you don't know exactly what type of person this is until you sit down with them. And obviously, you don't know who they know that has a number 4 subset. So, those are the type of people. And those type of people may be a little bit intimidating to you if they're that type of winner. But winners look for opportunities. Business people and successful people, they always look for opportunities. So they're looking for you to show them something. Contact and invite. This is the most integral part. Okay, all the hubbub comes down to this. Who can show 100 people the video the fastest? How fast can you show 100 people? That's why Lela and John got off to such a good start, because they weren't doing it one-on-one. They were having chunks of people at their house. So when Margaret and Jake showed the video first time, they put 15 eyes on it. When they showed the video the following week, they had 25 eyes on it. The first night, they did not care that 11 people basically said no and didn't become associates. The exciting part that they were so excited about was 4. Now, if you were to do that, you show the video 15 times and the first 10 said no, you'd really have to do a gut check, right?
Yeah.
But they did it in a chunk, and the 11 didn't matter. They were celebrating the 4. Then the following week was even better because they had more eyes on it. And they had associates now this week come out are going to bring their people into it. So that's the way you have to look at it. Now, if you're a structured, disciplined person and you can get that video, in front of 100 people, and I'm not saying do it in a month, but some people can, but you do it over the course of time. That's about the magic number. Now, and the quicker you work, there's just some type of physical thing that the quicker you work, the faster you'll see success.
I just had a question, Leila. Do you know that many people that you were able to bring a big team together like that, a big group of people?
Initially, yeah, John knew a lot of people.
Okay. So how would, I don't know that many people, I mean, I have friends and such, but how do you build a list if you don't know that many people? Just,
Try it first.
Yeah, do it first. Do it. Write the list and then see for
Write the list
yourself
first,
what
okay.
the magic is. And it will evolve from there because your friends have friends.
What about your wife's friends?
true.
I'll be surprised if you don't sit down later this afternoon, start writing your list, you pick your head up, it's 2 hours later and you're on like
You
280.
know more people than you think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Not the people that you interact with, there's a few every day. You know,
Sure.
outside of that, there's memory joggers that Bobby refers to.
No, it makes sense. It does.
That's the problem. You sitting there, that's
Thinking
my problem.
Thinking I don't know
Think-
enough people.
I had the 10 names bouncing around my head. I'm like, why am I not going anywhere? And then in like month 7, I went to some event in Atlantic City, and for the 100th time I'm hearing make a list, and I'm seeing all these successful people. I said, you know what, I better make a list. Now, and then I thought what he thought. I don't know 200 people. But when you write, it was like, and it was 3 hours later.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting there, just writing with a pencil and a legal pad, page after page after page after page, and it's getting crazy. But something happens, and all of a sudden, well over 300 names, and that's just the start of it, because then that morphed into well over 2,000 names. And you'll build, but don't, just follow that rule. Making the list is the first action step you take, and it's the most important thing.
And I know that night when it happened, because after the event, Tony disappeared. And I knew that's what he was doing, and he changed, I started to see him changing personally, just from having that list, just from the security of having inventory for your business. You know?
So I screwed up every one of these steps, by the way, that's why I feel like I can talk about it, because I screwed them up, and the list is something like 3.5 years in, I'm just like seeing the magic of it. We talk about it, John talks about it. If a guy's got 25,000 customers in his business, and I want to be there, and he did something and I'm not doing it, I'm an idiot for not doing it. So just follow the leader, basically. All right, this is just some things on how you conduct a contact and invite, but clearly we're in a position where I'd rather show you the #1 moneymaker in this business, teach us how to contact and invite. It's the perfect video. Can you hit that?
Here's the video.
Chewy's ready. And, and,
Working on it.
And folks, that's what this business is all about. Making the relationship to open a door. And what my wife and I do, the people we're meeting now, we're meeting people fresh within, whether it's at my wife's gym or people I'm meeting at the airport. I have STPs from people that were sitting me on a plane.
you don't ever want to sit next to John on a plane.
Well, you do if you want to retire in 5 years. You know, but what I'm doing is I'm striking up a conversation. It's all about them. Remember, the key, it's all about them. Hey, where you from? Boom, it's gonna get a reaction. I'm from New York, I'm from Philadelphia. Got a family? You got kids? Yeah, what do they do? I'm right into the kids. Oh, baseball player? Boom. And then I'm about this. You know, you seem like a really sharp guy, Sean. Are you an open-minded person? Are you the type of guy that likes to look at a good opportunity? It's about piquing their curiosity without smothering them. It's an art. It's something that becomes habit. Just do that, exchange the numbers, right?
Hey, John, you want to do this with Kevin?
What's that?
Third party call?
No.
Okay.
No, I will. What do you want to do?
Just talk about that and how important it is.
Yeah, like Kevin will have a call, right? This is all about, like we said, setting up the exposure. So Kevin's with a friend of his, he alerts me earlier in the day, hey John, I got a 1 o'clock STP. Okay, Kev, I'll be there for you. He knows, and I know, that he's gonna send me the smoke signal, NOW. He's gonna text me, I'm gonna say, okay, I got it on my calendar, Kevin Verdon, 1 o'clock. It could be 7 minutes after, it could be 12 minutes after, it's around that time frame. Now, as soon as Kevin sits down with that person, has a small talk about everything other than Viridian. Hey, how's the family, Lou? How's this? Oh, just came back from the All-Star game, blah, blah, blah. Soon as Kevin hits play, he knows that video's 13 minutes long. I know he's being respectful of my time. I'm gonna get a text as soon as he hits play, NOW, that's it. Come from Kevin Verdon, so I know Kevin's gonna be calling me in 13 minutes. When Kevin gets on the phone, here's what Kevin's gonna say. He's gonna be sitting down, my phone's gonna ring, and Kevin's gonna be calling me. What are you gonna say, Kev?
Well, before I get to that, John, the most important thing for me and my third parties is placing the people that you're having the third party with someone in the upline, a lawyer to a lawyer, a landscaper to a landscaper. That we have all people in our business. But what John wants me to answer is like, hello, Jackie Barber, this is John Piontek. He's my upline. Any questions you have, I would really like you to ask John.
Don't say upline, say business partner.
I'm a business partner.
This sounds like voodoo.
Okay. Thanks for that. You got that now? But, and then, see, now you threw my train of thought.
Oh, you're good, you're right on track.
And then it's John, it's Jackie Barber, and any questions? And that's it.
See, when he
And I
does,
did that with Jackie, and I know her, and I knew her husband, they rented space for me, and she kept asking me questions, and she really got pissed off at me. I mean, really, really pissed off that I wouldn't, well, Kevin, I said, no, I don't want to talk to this guy, John. Well, this is what you need to do. And I, for the first time, kept my mouth shut, handed John the phone, and then John and Lil followed up and talked to her, and then she said, I see why you do that. But it is very important to keep your mouth shut.
it's not easy. It's not easy
It's
because
hard.
normally, listen, what that person's gonna look at and say, well, I know Kevin's a successful business guy, I rented property from at one of his big yards, and he don't want to answer my question, and it's very hard for Kevin to sit back and just really surrender to the process is what he's actually doing. But when it's all said and done, what is she gonna say? She's gonna go, I'm a busy person, I got kids, I run 2 businesses. But what did Kevin just do? Kevin just hit play on the video, showed the video, put somebody else on the phone to answer the questions. I'm not too busy to do that. If Kevin would have talked about it and been an expert, she would have said, I'm too busy to learn all of that. See, McDonald's is a multi-billion-dollar business with a bunch of teenagers because it's simplicity. Same menu, same food, same computer system, Big Mac fries, boom, done, here's your ticket, next. If you can incorporate this and start teaching people how to keep this simple, stupid. Simple, stupid. Just throw as much stuff up against the wall as quickly as possible. It's what you lack in skills, you make up for in numbers. What you lack in skill, you all make up for in numbers.
But John, it's very important, because we were in Cincinnati, and we have a large group going there. None of them, they're not going anywhere. They get their 6 associates, they get their meters. And we impressed upon them, especially John, and asked them how they're building their business. Oh, I did. Well, who did your third party? Not one of them. They did it all themselves, and they're wondering why. Then we went out there with Bob and Trey and Joe and Frank Marone, and we sat in a room with these people, and I told them, and John, that's why you're not going anywhere. Who does your third parties? Now Kathy's starting to do a third party with Tony, and people are starting to get it, but they refuse to do it, and that's why you'll never get anywhere in your business if your associates don't follow the path. And I think finally, after a year, they learned a little bit, right, John?
Yeah.
Out there.
I'll tell you
They
what,
have a golden market.
Tracy's the most powerful woman, but so coachable, right from the beginning, right? She took you, held your hand, and she got this. Her and Andrew got this down, and all you're doing is following suit. You know, I'm good in this business because I used to cheat in high school. I never read a book, and I used to copy off the kids next to me. So all I'm doing is copying off Bob Quintana and Joe O. I just felt right into my path, right? Bob Quintana said, do like I do, and you'll get what I got. Very simple. Show a lot of videos. The most passionate promoter wins. People that sit down and say, I'm going to show this to one person a week, ain't never going to happen.
But John, what's amazing is these guys did it with just 2 markets.
Yeah.
That's what's in my mind all the time.
Yeah.
They did it with 2 markets, and it took 9 months for Jersey to go live for them. They started in Connecticut. Look at the business they built. You guys, us new guys, got 17 markets and a professional videos.
They were, you know, Joe O, I don't know if you know the story, him and Frank were ready to go into foreclosure and bankruptcy, and Bob Quintana was down to his last $2,000 in his bank account. Between the both of them, they've made about $15 million in 5 years in Veridian.
But with nothing, John.
With
Nothing. That's what you gotta get in your head. It's like, wow, every month, every 3 months, we're getting new markets, and these guys did it.
Yeah, it's
With
just,
nothing. With nothing.
that's why we're here in July, every July on a Sunday, opening our house up. That's why we're traveling like Tony and Kevin are traveling. You know, making a sacrifice. I mean, if you really envision it, who's not gonna make the ultimate sacrifice to be financially free and have time freedom for the rest of your life and so what if it takes you 6 years? So what if it takes you 7 years? Think about that. You can get paid every 10th of the month, whether or not you go to work or not, and you don't have to depend on nobody else. You gotta look and say, oh, the sun's out today, hon, we're getting paid again. That's all you need to get paid on, is the sun to come out. Not Democrat, not Republican, not what somebody's doing to cut your pension down, or knowing that when you retire, Jess, there's gonna be no pension.
Right.
That you're done, no Social Security, that ain't gonna happen, it's impossible. It's about us realizing now, and all we gotta do is put people around our kitchen table and living room table.
You know, think about it. I went on a trip to Bermuda. It was like great. Tony showed me what I needed to do, and I did it. And I won a trip to Bermuda. I mean, and I met Jake and Margaret. How you know, like, was it meant to be? It's karma. You know, I worked hard at doing what I did, and I won this trip, and I met Jake and Margaret. Oh, great people.
Yeah.
And it just happened to walk down, and I know that man will be on stage at Power Up, and I know he's going to wear his pink shorts. And that's what I had, his Bermuda shorts on, a nice shirt. His wife was dressed very good, long blonde hair, and he didn't have the socks on. So we stopped and talked to him, and his wife was saying about, oh, I said, you look great. His wife was told about the socks. I said, yeah, you should have put the socks on. And one thing led to another. But it was just, I wasn't afraid to spark a conversation. I'll talk to that picture, and I'll get an answer out of that picture somehow. But it's just having, not being afraid to just talk to somebody. Right, John?
Just about striking up a conversation, guys, no more, no less. But it's about your passion. If you're not excited about something, you have no ability to inspire someone else. I'm more excited every day I wake up because I realize more and more what a gift this is and the life we're starting to live now, the life we're going to have for our children and our grandchildren. You know, we're not telling our son that he's going to be well off. We're not telling him yet. Oh.
He's not paying attention.
You know, it's amazing now, I get up every morning, 3 times a day, and I look at my back office, just to see what Jason Marvin's doing, and another guy, Dominic, who signed somebody up in Texas, just to see, like, I wouldn't look for months in my back office. I look every day to see what they're doing, and when you get a good associate, you need to keep in contact. Tell them they're doing every day. Just like if you had a dog and you didn't go to the bathroom in the house, you give them a treat. You know, it's very important. I mean, I'm blessed to have them, and you're blessed to get good people. When you find good people, call them. It's your partner. I mean, I feel...
It's about communication. The business comes down like that. It's all about the bonding of people. It don't matter if we have a green electricity or you're selling tree bark.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, to be successful in this business, you got to know the names of their children, the name of their spouse, the color of the carpet in your house, have barbecues at your house, go out and have coffee and donuts with them. Comes down, you want a business that's there for a lifetime, bond with the people that are running with you. Bond with the people that are running. If you don't do that, they're not going to be in your business very long.
I didn't know them, and now we're going to go to Cincinnati to a baseball game. And believe it or not, he calls me and I call him 3 or 4 times a day. You know how good it makes you feel to find somebody that really cares and you spend time with them and they reciprocate back with you? I mean, it's like you can have 1,000 no's.
It took you a long time to get there, though.
It took me a long time. And
But
I
he
just
kept stuck with it. He kept chopping. He kept chopping. Now he understands it. Now he's not taking those little swings. Now he's got the axe sharpened, right? He's got his axe sharpened now because he's learning his skill set. Makes it easier. When you learn something, you have more confidence, you have more conviction. You'll invite everybody. And Mary will never worry about 2 skeptics coming to her house because those people are just people. They probably don't own huge companies and have great levels of success.
Well, you need people to say no.
Yeah.
Right?
To get
Like
first in.
Jim yesterday, he did 2 rapid fire STPs. The first guy was a dud.
Yeah.
But that's cool because you had a second guy. You even think the second guy was an ace.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's coming in.
He might.
But that made you forget about the dud pretty quickly.
Yeah. Actually, the first guy, after you got the phone, he said he was thinking about it again.
Okay.
So.
But you got 2.
He gave me his contact.
And Jim, you know what you tell a guy like that?
He
I'm
lives in
sorry.
Monroe Township.
You know what you tell a guy like that? Say, listen, man. If you don't see this and it don't make that hair on your arm stand up, I don't want you in the business anyway.
Right.
I don't want you. Just tell him right up front, listen, if you see this all the way and you think this is a 4 to 5 year plan, you want to come on board and do this with me, we'll show you got support right in your backyard. If you're happy with your job and you're confident that that's the place you want to be, you know what? Call me when the hair on your arm stands up.
And the best thing is, when you produce, like Tony, smile fun now. It's like, come on Tony, you want to get to where you want to get to? I want to get to where I want to get to. I need your help. He's there 100%. I'm fortunate, honest to God, that I have him. Because without him, helping me and teaching and teaching me and teaching my people and being as good as he is at this business, I would have been gone a long time ago. But he sees something in me and he supports me. And I, that's
So
most
Jim,
important.
thanks, Kev. So Jim showed the plan twice yesterday, and we don't know what the answers are. So let's talk about step 6, the follow-up. What do we do now?
The fortunes in a follow-up.
Right. Want me to talk about
Yeah,
that?
go ahead. What's your plan?
I don't know. I mean, I usually wait a few days and then, or up to a week actually, sometimes, depending on, and I call them up and say, if there's a meeting up, or if there's a meeting coming up, I'll say, yeah, there's a meeting coming up. You want to join me at a meeting, I can pick you up, or I can meet you there. And usually I try to see if I can get to their house to pick them up, to bring them. If that don't work, I'll say, hey, and they'll say, well, I don't have time, I can't get there, and then...
Jim, the key is
Usually-
Big Al Schrader. Big
Yeah.
Al Schrader. Before you leave, set the stage for the next. It's not about them signing up, it's about you setting the stage for the next exposure. And how that happens? By asking them their permission indirectly. Hey Jim, would it be okay if I give you a call within the next 24, 48 hours to follow up with you? They're gonna tell you yes. They're gonna give you acceptance into.
Well, let's talk through this right now, because Mary has brought this up already indirectly. Why, since our next meeting in Marlboro is like a lifetime away, it's a week and a half away, why don't you and Mary have a house party where you're gonna show the video and invite them, make it sometime this week, whether it's 8, 12 people, bring them to there. And if they're gonna, you know, if their interest is piqued, they'll show up. And they'll see that there's other people besides Jim doing this. And then I'll come and answer some questions. Let's kill those two birds.
We talk about
Two,
it
yes.
all the time, but we just haven't, you know,
Yeah.
Well, you know,
executed it, you know?
Jimmy,
today's the day.
Yeah, you're right.
And Jim, or how about this? Hey, let me give you a website to go home and look at some of the culture of this
I
company.
do
Live
that.
Viridian.
I actually
Good.
text them with all that all the time.
Well, even write it down on a piece of paper and then when you're sitting with them.
Yeah.
LiveViridian.com. You want to see a company that why we're so special? The stuff we do, the things we do
There
to
it
give
is
back.
right
Escalate.
That's exactly what John's
LiveViridian.com.
talking about. Giving them something to do their due diligence on.
That's
Those three things really rebut all the internet garbage that's out there. You put Creus down, you spell Falquist's name, and you spell LiveViridian.com out for them. At least they have some balance now when they're going. Because if you put Viridian in, the first thing that you get is Viridian Scam, and it's someone from Great Britain talking about a makeup company, I think, right? Or,
It's something weird.
yeah. So some people won't even click the link and say, oh, Viridian's a scam, I'm out. But give them some balance, and if they're gonna do their due diligence, at least they're gonna hit on some good stuff.
So if they type in Crius and Michael?
Creus.
Creus is the parent company of Viridian,
Okay.
C-R-I-U-S.
Okay, I'm making notes.
Publicly traded.
Crius. Okay.
Michael Falquist,
Is our CEO.
and a website where they can, you know, see some profiles.
See some Ponzi.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what's good about this too, Tony, is we have to get permission from the Board of Trade. We've got to be licensed. If it was a pure scam, we wouldn't have none of that. We wouldn't be here. You know, so it's just Google Disney. See what they say.
Yeah.
So.
And just
Oh,
realize,
Nicolisa. Hi, Nicolisa. They're down in Texas watching. She just texted me they can't hear the Joe O video. Sorry.
Go out and get more associates.
no hard closing. By continuing to provide the prospect with the tools and the third-party support, we simply help educate and enhance the prospect's understanding. That's what was a breakthrough for me with Eric Worre. That all we're doing is providing tools, and as long as they are, you know, open to it, we just provide nuggets. And if they're gonna come, they're gonna come. We don't get anything for closing anybody. But if they come in, we want to just continue to enhance their understanding of what we're doing.
Be coachable, right? No matter what you did before, and let people know that coming to your business. Leave your ego at the door. Just be coachable, right? The 3 C's. Character, commitment, and coachability. Because somebody can have the biggest Rolodex in the world. If they don't put their ego down to their side and follow this format or this process, their business will never duplicate. And it comes down, Eric Worre says it, right, Tony? One word, duplication, right? Keep it simple and let it duplicate. Show a video, make a call. Show a video, or be Michelisa. Michelisa's following the system to a T. She's down in Texas now with her team. She's signing up associates left and right. She has customers all over. She went and got 100 customers in 4 days to win the trip to Bermuda. Anybody could have done that, but why did she do it? She had intent on doing it. She had intent. Once you have intent, you can't fail. There's a lot of obstacles, there's a lot of no's, but when you get there, you forget about all the no's and all the distractions and all the rejection. It's just about the celebration at that point.
Here's the math. Here's the math of this business. You want to marry it up with that career path. This is really what it is.
And no matter how you slice it, it's a numbers game. If you invite 30 people, 20 will show up, maybe 15. But when you show 20, the probability that 6 will become associates, okay? But out of those 6 associates, we talked about this earlier, it's only going to yield maybe 1 or 2 lines, right? Because people will not even put their own meters in. Some will put 2 meters in, or 3, and not even make it an essay, and get distracted. And don't spend your time convincing people, just go out and find people that will take to this. And the bottom line is take those numbers and realize you need 4 really good, great lines to make partner, right? And you need 5 to become an ambassador. So do the numbers from there. And it all comes back to about 100 people seeing the video, maybe 120.
Yep.
Again, and that can be done over the course of a month, 12 years, 2 years, whatever it is, whatever your pace is. But those are the numbers, and you can't fight the numbers. They're always going to, no one's in baseball is ever going to hit 600. No one's ever going to hit 400 again. Yeah.
And it's great, like you say, with baseball. Can you imagine hitting the ball 3 times out of 10? Bat 300?
Hit 20
Hall
million.
of Fame.
You're worth $100 million.
$100 million.
Remember, folks, when you lack in skill, you make up for in numbers. Be disconnected from the outcome. You really have to understand that, though, because if you think that everyone you're going to show the video to is going to be a monster, you're hurting yourself psychologically. It hurts. When you learn that it's really kind of icy, although it's a warm market thing, it's numbers, and that's why when you show it. Hey, they don't come in, you do everything, you do your follow-up, but you don't get involved in the outcome. Become detached, just follow through the process.
Yeah, speed brings the magic, right? We talked about throwing as much stuff out against the wall as quickly as possible and see what sticks. That's all the business is. Keep mentally disconnected, it don't matter. If I show it to Jesse, I know Jesse has a ton of potential. But I can't drag Jesse. If she don't see this, I gotta keep moving. I don't sit and say, oh, I got these 5 people. If they get in, I'm done for life. That's not gonna happen.
Mary, say if you have a house party once a week until Halloween, right? Just say, and you show 100 people in that time. Your chances of getting 30 to 40 people in the business are much greater than doing what I'm doing and showing 100 people over the course of 3.5 years. Because my percentage goes down to about 20%. That's just the numbers. That's Eric Ward who studies this stuff. So and this goes back, I think our theme is house parties today, it sounds like it. What is the most efficient way to accomplish this?
For people, mass exposures. Massive, and not 100 people where people don't feel special. Have 5, 8, 10 people, don't have food, put out pretzels and chips and bottles of water and coffee, that's it. Make it duplicatable. People try having parties and they have the 6-foot sub and no, that's not, they're gonna feel that they have to do the same thing. At every level, the business comes down to duplication.
And one thing you gotta understand, and I know we all wanna be great hosts, but we've seen this in action. If you serve wine or alcohol,
After.
people will never leave your house. They'll be there till 2 in the morning. So, give them wine if they sign up. Have some champagne with them, but keep it sober, keep it dry.
Again, it all comes back to this, the 8 steps. Learn it, use it, teach it, repeat it, right? Just constantly, very simple. It's like riding a bike. You can all retire here by putting a lot of people in, motivating people. Tomorrow night, I want you to get everybody on the call. I'm the guest speaker. They're giving me 20 minutes on the power call tomorrow. I want to have 500 people on that call. This business comes down to you communicating with people in your teams or potential people. Say, hey, listen to this guy. I was just at his house. Him and his wife, just regular people, have built a business that's changed their lives in 4 years. Create that excitement, right? Communicate, get the message out to people. We really appreciate you all coming by today, and there's a couple more bagels left and some more coffee. Tone, should I get another coffee?
No.
Please.
You get more bagels.
What's up, Buzz?
Thanks, guys. No more. Get them bombs.
Yes. me bagels.
I just hear that,
Well,
I just hear the doors.
our Princeton neighbor has questions.
What was he doing? I just heard the doors open and closing.
Bagel.